Happy New Year everyone, I hope you're all having a great day today, relaxing and reading some good books. Today I'm very excited to be here with my January book haul for 2014. It's going to be so much fun. I love doing book hauls, people love watching book hauls as well, so I thought it'd be a great combination to start the year off with. And in fact, it's going to be a great combination to start each and every single month this year off with. Yes, you guessed it, there are going to be 12 book hauls this year where I sum up all the books I'm going to be reading each month. I love doing these kind of videos, just planning out and sort of telling you what to expect from my reading. As I mentioned in my previous video, I'm doing these because of my monthly themes. I will be buying a few more books than normal to fit each theme, and it's going to be great fun to read such a great variety of books. So the theme for January that I've chosen is dystopia. It is my favourite genre, so hooray for dystopia. I absolutely adore it. What I love so much about it is the world building, the intensity, the character development. Basically everything I look for in a book is in the dystopia genre, so it's perfect really, and it's going to be so much fun to start the year off with. So let's get going, let's look at these books. So the first one is the one that I'm very excited about, extremely excited about in fact. It is Champion by Marie Lu. Finally, I'm getting to read this book. I am so excited for it. This is the third book in the Legend trilogy, and I've loved the trilogy so far. I think it's got better and better. If that is the case, this will be the best book of the three. It's going to break the curse of last books in trilogies. Some writers are not good at ending trilogies at all, but Marie Lu, I'm sure she's going to be amazing. I've actually heard really good things about this so far, and I just can't wait to dive back into the world. The character development in the second book was amazing. I started to connect with the characters more, and there was so much intensity. I just can't wait to find out what's going to happen. How is this going to end? You know, I've absolutely no idea. It's really unpredictable. Anything could happen. It's just amazing, and if you haven't started to read this trilogy yet, or if you haven't continued with the trilogy, please do so. Please put it on your to be read pile for 2014. There is something in the book for everyone, and I think Marie Lu is such a great writer, one of my favourite YA writers of the current moment. So if you don't know what it's about, I'll just explain the general idea behind the first book. So we have Western United States, which is now home to the Republic, which is a nation constantly at war with one another. The two main characters are Day and June, who very much juxtapose each other. They're so different and come from different backgrounds. Day's background is that he was born into the slums. He's the country's most wanted criminal. But in contrast to this, June is rich. She was born into an elite family and has lots of different opportunities, and her life is generally better. But then one day these characters meet by chance, and because of the differences between the two, their lives drastically change. Nothing will ever be the same again. It's quite intense, but it's extremely good to read about, and I love it. I think it's a really fast read as well. It doesn't take very long, and there's a great balance between description and dialogue. I'm so excited to read this final book. On the front of the book, it does say that it blows the socks off the Hunger Games. A very bold statement to make, I have to say. I don't know if I necessarily agree with it. I don't think it's better than the Hunger Games. I think they're on the sort of similar level, so that's saying a lot about this book, because obviously I love the Hunger Games. But it's hard to compare the two. You know, they're still both dystopian reads, but the concepts are very different. So yes, I'm anticipating a very fun read with this book. I just can't wait to read it. It's going to be the first one I read this month. Then the second book that I'll be reading is a classic. I'm really excited to get going with another classic this year. I think classics are really good and essential to read, so I'm going to try get them into most of my themes. And this one is one that I'm finally getting around to. I should have read it ages ago. It is 1984 by George Orwell. I know so many people have read this and I haven't. I've heard a lot of positive things about this. I think it forms the foundations of the dystopia genre. It probably inspired a lot of dystopian writers today and had a great impact. I just think it sounds amazing. The cover, not a huge fan of it, to be honest. I kind of think it's a bit plain. I've seen so many other more creative and unique covers for this book. This isn't my favourite out of them, but I know the content in the book will be fabulous, so we don't need to worry about anything. I believe we have the main character of Winston Smith in the 1984 setting, as you would expect from the title of the book. We read about his rebellion towards Big Brother, which is basically the government that looks over everyone. He goes through a forbidden love affair, which is kind of nightmare-like, and it's kind of horrifying apparently. I'm really looking forward to these scary aspects actually, because I don't normally read scary, horrifying books, so it's going to make it very unique. I'll be engrossed in it, and I know I won't be able to stop start reading. I was looking on Goodreads about this book and I found a very interesting fact actually. 3 words that entered our vocabulary because of this book were Fort Police, Orwellian and Big Brother. I think that proves how impacting this book is, how so many people have been inspired by it and we've used language that was used in it. I love the word Orwellian. I just think that sounds amazing. I don't know, I just think it flows well, and Orwellian. I just love the word. I'm probably not making sense right now, but I love the word, okay? Yes, I do. The third and final book I'll be reading this month is Shades of Grey by Jasper Fforde. This is a very different book to the other two, actually. The concept is very unique. I'm really excited to dive into the world and just throw myself in there and enjoy it. What I really like about the monthly themes and what I'm going to try and do is, although the books are in the same genre, the same theme, I want to try and find different aspects to that so they're all different and it's varied. So in the society of this world, if you can see on the higher end of the colour spectrum, you have a better social standing, but if you cannot see as high on the colour spectrum, you don't have a good social standing. The main character is Eddie Rosette and he can only see the colour red. Everything else in between that is grey. Shades of grey, and the only way to actually see colours normally like we can is to artificially colour them. However, we learned that the world wasn't always this way and there was a time before this when things were very different, but then, as you would expect from a dystopia genre, there was an unexpected, dramatic disaster which happened and it changed absolutely everything. I'm really excited to read the contrast before and after this. Hopefully it will explain the difference between the two. I've heard that this book is really imaginative and funny, which is something I'm really actually intrigued about because I'm not sure how humour is going to be brought across. It's not something I normally read about in the dystopia genre, so it's going to provide a great change for me and I'm really looking forward to that. Can't wait to get reading with this book, and I love this cover actually. I think all the different colours really sums up the book and the concept behind it all. So that's going to be it for today's book haul. I'm really excited to go ahead now and start reading all these books. Don't forget to tell me what you're going to be reading this month in the comments below, or if you want to link to a video or something, I will go and watch that. But thanks for watching everyone, and see you all again later.